Hey y'all, let's talk baseball. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself. It's not even baseball season. It's football season. But baseball, it's my favorite sport. It always will be. Now I was born and raised in Maine, so our local team was the Boston Red Sox. My favorite team. And they were the local team. Even though most Mainers don't like anything to do with anything from Massachusetts, the Boston Red Sox, they're the exception. They're our local team. Now they play at a diamond that's called Fenway Park. It's one of the original baseball diamonds. They opened in 1912. They're still playing there today, and they're still going strong. Now in left field, back in 1934, there were a bunch of fires, a series of fires that just demolished the entire left field stands. They eventually rebuilt it and into this huge 37-foot monster out there. Now, in 1947, when they repainted the entire baseball diamond, what's called Nantucket Green, the monster out there became the Green Monster. The name stuck, and it's been going there ever since. Now, I remember as a kid sitting down and watching baseball with my grandfather. It was back in the 1980s, so some of one of the biggest players back then that I remember was Wade Boggs. He played third base for the Red Sox. He was a great hitter, great fielder, and just all around great player. He was my idol. You know, he got me to the point where I played third base, and I could not wait until I could grow my handlebars just to look just like him. I think he went on to some other team. I can't remember now off the top of my head. But I just remember in the late 80s, I think it was 1986, was the last time they went to the World Series before the last run here. So, and then they lost it in the 1980s and the 1990s were just a disappointment all around. They just never went anywhere. Now, they were just pretty much terrible the rest of the time. Now, let's talk about 2004. That was a great year. That was the year they won the World Series. The first time they won a World Series since 1912. That broke the curse of the Bambino, one of the most famous curses in baseball. Brought about when they traded Babe Ruth from the Red Sox to the evil empire, the New York Yankees. Now, when they broke this curse and then won the World Series, this just entirely reinvigorated my love for the game and of the team. I watched every game I could. Sometimes it was harder than others to find a game, but I still loved watching them. And leads into one of the highlights of being a fan was to actually catch a Major League Baseball game. Now, when I was stationed down in Robinson, Georgia, we're about 100 miles south of Atlanta. So, opportunity arose for me to go catch a game up at Turner Field, watching the Braves play against my Red Sox. This game just happened to be held on Father's Day, so it was a present to me from my wife. It was fun because that was my first Major League Baseball game ever that I actually was able to attend. And it just happened to be the two teams I love to watch. I just love watching the Braves play too. The added kicker to that, I actually got to take my son to the game. We both had a blast there. Beautiful day, the sun was beating down, and it was a really good game. The best part about that, my son has been a Red Sox fan ever since. Some of the happiest times of my life revolved around baseball, from learning the game, how to play the positions, and basically what to do when you're out there, to actually learning about the history of the game. Actually researching this brought a little more information to me that I didn't know. So, and then just watching the games with my grandfather back when I was a kid, that was some of the best times I ever had. Just sitting there watching a game. He tried to explain to me how to play and the chess match and of the game and what the pitcher against the batter against the fielder, and manager against manager, and weather and everything. It's just there's so much to baseball that most people just don't understand. It's fun to watch and it's fun to get it going. Now, of course, there's the low times of the game too, like in the 80s and the 90s, where they just didn't have a very good time, very good seasons. And that all broke, of course, like I said, in 2004 when it broke the curse of the Bambino. And then game day in Atlanta. Still one of the highlights of my life so far, watching a major league game and having my son. So just knowing that baseball is America's pastime, knowing that I'm a Red Sox fan, I always will be, that will never change, and knowing that my son will carry on that. That is just some of the parts of me being a Red Sox fan for life. Thank you for your time and have a good day.